How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Hope you all had a great weekend and are ready to get back into it. I for sure am. And in today's video, like we do every single Sunday here on the channel, we're going to break down some stocks, some charts, my thoughts on the markets, the futures market, and we're going to break down what happened last week very briefly to give you guys and myself a refresher on what the heck is going on in these markets. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, and check out my Patreon, link down below. If you guys want my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, plus more, all of that's on Patreon, link down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So as of now, it's about 7:19 to be exact here on the East Coast. So the futures market has been open for about an hour and 20 minutes, and it's looking pretty decent. I mean, we have the S&P futures up about 5 points. If I pop that up here /ES, you guys can see they're up a little bit, up 5 points, up about 0.1%. The Dow futures, let's see, where are those trading at right now? They're up about 76 points, up 0.22%, so also a green session so far for the Dow futures. And we have the NASDAQ futures a little bit red, actually. They're down about 11 points, down 0.07%. And you guys know at this point, the futures market could really flip-flop like that. Boom, snap of a finger. I don't know if you guys heard the snap. Listen to this. Literally, that is how fast the futures market could flip. So what I mean by that is right now the futures are green, but we could wake up tomorrow and they're heavy in the red, especially if we get some crazy news overnight, which doesn't always happen, but I'm just putting it out there so you all understand that just because the futures are up right now, it's not the end-all be-all. So we're going to be watching and really monitoring the futures overnight. I have a couple alarms set, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm going to sleep through the night, and then I'm going to wake up in the morning and see what the futures are doing pre-market, and then we'll go from there. If we have a nice green session, we're looking bullish, we're taking out the highs from, last week, which could very well happen. You guys see the NASDAQ futures right now are right by the highs of last week, 15,350. If we take those highs out, that's going to be bullish. If I pop up the S&P futures, those are pretty much right at the highs of last week as well, 44.50, 60 roughly. So I'm looking to see if we break out of there, see more momentum, and at that point, no joke, we could end up having a pretty green day to start off the day, at least tomorrow on Monday. And some key levels to watch out for on SPY, 445. We've talked about this a lot. That was the high point from Thursday, so that's got to break considering we closed right under it on Friday, and it was support a couple of weeks ago, more towards the beginning, middle of September, and obviously once you break support, it becomes resistance. So we're looking to see if 445 breaks, hence my alert at 445. And for QQQ, we have an alert set at 374 and 379. 374 being the high point from Thursday, 379 being the high from the middle of September. So if we start breaking out of 374, I think there's going to be some upside this week, probably towards $380 per share here on QQQ. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Drop me a comment down below. Are you buying this week? Are you selling anything this week? Are you hoarding cash this week? Let me know down below in the comments, and make sure to smash the like button if you didn't do it yet. If you guys find value in the videos, it really helps me out here in the YouTube algorithm, the mighty old YouTube algorithm, which is a pretty sophisticated freaking algorithm. Let me tell you that, guys. So the likes, the subscriptions really helps me out. So let's go over now that we talked about a little bit the markets, the futures, what I'm looking for this week, key levels on SPY, QQQ. Let's go over some stocks that I think maybe not all of these, not all of them. Most of these actually are reporting earnings this week. And the first one we're going to talk about, they are not reporting earnings this week, but we got to talk about it considering how bullish this stock has been. And the stock is Snapchat, ticker symbol SNAP. And if you guys watch, I believe I covered this last week, which is why, again, it's so important for you all to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the free content here, because we called this out, I believe it was last week, because it broke out on the 21st, 22nd of last week. Well, that was last week. What day was that? Probably Tuesday or something like that. And this completely broke out. If you guys remember, we were covering the downwards channel that it was in between the end of July and pretty much up until the end of September, which was last week. So it was trading within this downwards channel for 2 months, right? And I told you all, look, if we start breaking out of 76, 77, 78, this thing could take off like a rocket. And did I expect it to go this high this quickly? No, I didn't. But the stock market, like you all know, always, for the most part, surprises people. Maybe not always, but a lot of the time it surprises people, and this thing ended up ripping like crazy. Now, does that mean I'm going to FOMO into it here at $83, here at all-time highs? No, I'm not. I'm actually going to wait and see if we get some sort of retracement this week, right? If you guys take a look, if I redraw this, right, we're a bit overbought right now. Even though volume's kicking up, we're still a bit overbought. RSI is at 76 here on the 4-hour chart. Again, we literally just hit an all-time high on Friday, and on Friday we had a 5% green day. So at this point, I would actually like to see Snapchat sell off and retest the top of this channel and maybe towards those moving averages. Maybe not down to 74, 75, which is where the moving averages are. But if it were to get to, let's say, 78, maybe 80, 79 even, that would be a spot where I'd consider maybe buying a little bit on the dip within the breakout, if that makes any sense. Because we're breaking out right now, we're a little bit overbought, but the dip would create a dip buy within the breakout, right? So keep your eyes on Snap. They're also reporting earnings here in about 3 weeks on the 19th of October. So we do have some time before earnings to maybe make a move there, or unless you like holding through earnings, which means you probably don't care when the earnings are, but I don't like holding through earnings, so I would like to see if I can get in and out of Snap before they report earnings. So keep your eyes on Snap, ticker symbol SNAP. MU Micron is another one that I'm looking at. This one's just been destroyed. This stock was at $96 per share, almost $97, back in the beginning of April, and now it's at $74. So it is down 25%. It's lost a quarter of its value in the past 5 months, and it's in a bear market, and it's clearly been downtrending these past 5 months, right? We're under both moving averages, lower lows, lower highs, and we've seen a pretty decent rally off of the lows from the middle of August. $68 were those lows, which is nuts considering we were just 96, 97, like I said. So from 97 to 68, it lost 30% of its value. So we've recovered about 10%, 8-10% from that 68 low. But I feel like, honestly, there could be more upside from here. I mean, this 8% recovery, it doesn't mean to me that just because we saw that, the recovery is over. I feel like if they crush earnings, we get a surprise beat, something like that, guidance is strong, we might get out of this trend, this downtrend, and we could start finally reversing the trend. And if you guys look here, and I almost forgot to mention, earnings are on the 28th, so that's on Tuesday. And if you guys look here on the 3-year chart, you notice how this is simply merely a healthy pullback. You can see Micron was $28 just in 2018, so about 3 years ago, December 2018. It had a 3x all the way to 97. That was in March of 2021, so about 2.5 years later, it 3x'd, and it had a huge push. If you guys see here from August 2020 to about March 2021, April 2021, that was, how long, how many months is that? About 8 months. It saw from 40 to 97, it saw over a 2x. So it makes sense that it's retracing a bit here, considering it ran up so much in the end of 2020 into the beginning of 2021. So I feel like, sure, it could go lower. I mean, a little bit. But how much lower does it go? I don't think it's going to go that much lower. Granted, if the markets collapse in general, sure, it could go lower. But if we have healthy markets, decent markets, I think this dip's going to be bought up sooner rather than later, whether it's at 65, 70, 75. I think buyers could step in, especially, like I said before, with good earnings, good guidance, and so forth. So Micron MU, we got to keep an eye on it. We got to see it break these moving averages on the 4-hour chart first to see that reversal in trend. And then from there, going back to that 3-year chart, that is where we're going to see the continuation of the uptrend. So I'm just going to put an alert here, $75. I'm going to watch it from there, plain and simple, and we'll see what it does this week. Another one that I'm interested in is CarMax, KMX. This one reports earnings on the 30th. So what is that? Thursday. And this is interesting because, well, let's be honest. Car business, not the most awesome business to follow. But the fact that we've seen such insane inflation, especially in the used car market the past couple of months, well, recently the past month, it cooled off a bit. But you guys remember the crazy increases in the CPI numbers? I think it was, what month are we in? September. I think it was June, July. We saw insane spikes in the dollar value of used cars going up. What does CarMax sell? Well, used cars for the most part, right? So I want to see their earnings, right? EPS, guidance, revenue. I want to see any statements about anything, around the increase in prices of used cars, how it's affecting their business model, and so forth. I think there's a lot of interesting points that are going to come out from this company around that. Whether or not they expect that to continue. Is it going to decrease the prices in cars in the next couple of months? Is inflation transitory from their perspective? I want to see these things coming out of CarMax, and clearly the stock's price is reflecting a strong used car market, considering we just hit an all-time high at $144.84. This stock was just $37 in the crash of March 2020. So if you guys bought it at the low, you would be up like 300%. Which I don't know if anyone did buy it at the low. If you did, kudos to you. Let me know in the comments. I sure did not buy it at the low. I mean, there's a lot of stocks I wish I bought at the low, and there's literally none that I bought at the low, believe it or not. Well, that's a lie. For my fiance, I bought her Disney, and I've told you guys this before. I bought her Disney in her account, literally, I swear to God, guys, at $79. It's insane. I timed the bottom on Disney in her account, $79. She's up a ton now. But other than that stock, I did not time the bottom on any other stock from the crash of March 2020. And that goes to show timing the bottom is dang near impossible, and it's not a skill. It's not a skill, guys. It's really not. It's luck at the end of the day. It's luck. And sure, you're going to time the bottom sometimes, but more times than not, you're not going to time the bottom. Let's be honest here. But overall, we're going to be watching. Disney's another one, even though it's not on the list for today. But CarMax, KMX, keep your eyes on it with earnings coming up here on Thursday. It's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening there. CL, overall, crude oil, the energy stocks, I'm watching these this week as crude oil right now. What's it up right now? It seems like it's up about 62 cents. So that's a good move right there, guys. Oil is up almost 1% here at 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast in terms of these futures. And the key spot I'm looking at for crude oil is right around 74, which now we're breaking with today's move. 74 being the high from the end of July. If we take that out, which again, looks like we are right now, this could go 75.60, high point from the middle of July, which gives it another $1 from here. And then from there, we're probably going to go and test the high from the beginning of July, being at about $77 per barrel. And I've talked about this. We have the clear inverse head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The right shoulder would complete at around 77. So it makes sense that we're moving up here, technically speaking. And you guys know I'm in XLE, which is an energy ETF. I'm in this one. I own a good amount of shares there. This one has more upside, in my opinion. Occidental Petroleum's another one worth watching. Now that it broke above 27.50.28, I think it could go 30.31 in the short term. Marathon Oil, MR. This one's breaking out with upside to about 14 per share. Exxon Mobil, let's see what that's doing. This one's breaking out as well. So these stocks, they're volatile, right? They rely on CL, crude oil, so keep that in mind. They trade on a commodity, which makes sense considering they're energy stocks, right? And trade them at your own risk. But in my opinion, again, full disclosure, I own XLE, which is a combination of all these stocks. In my opinion, there is more upside to come for these stocks. Thor Industries is another one that I'm looking at here. RV maker. You guys know RVs. I'm sure you've seen the movie RV years ago. Great movie. Great movie there. Funny movie, man. Funny freaking movie. I probably want to watch that now after this video because I completely forgot about that movie until I saw Thor Industry was reporting earnings this week. So we're going to be watching the stock, guys. They report on the 28th, and that is 2 days from now. That is on Tuesday. And I'm seeing a descending triangle forming here on THO. Clear support at about 103, 104, 105. We've held that multiple times since the middle of June, but we've been downtrending, making lower highs into that base support of 103 to 105 since about the middle of March, right? We hit 152. The next lower high was 146, followed by 123, followed by 120, and now we're struggling at about 110, right under the moving averages. We're seeing a death cross, 50 crossing under the 180 SMA. So I wouldn't go long on this necessarily unless they crushed EPS revenue guidance and they got out of the downtrend, right? They broke out of the moving averages on the 4-hour chart and they broke the top of this downwards trend line, because if we don't do that, the descending triangle might play out, which in that case, we'd probably collapse under 105, under 100, and we might be going to the 90s on this one, especially if they botch earnings. The earnings suck. This could go back 90, 95, no doubt about it. So keep your eyes on THO. Let's see how long we're in here, about 17 minutes. That works. We got some time here. DraftKings DKNG is one. If you guys are in my Patreon, which again, you can sign up for down below if you want all my buys, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. Ton of content and work is being put into that Patreon. If you guys want to sign up, again, that's linked down below. I posted how I bought some DraftKings. I bought back into DraftKings this past Friday at about 51.60. This is a stock that I owned a couple months ago. Well, a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago. I owned it, sold it at 55 after they reported or before they reported earnings, and then I saw it run at 65. Now that it's pulled back from 65 to 51, it's down 20%. It's in a bear market. Now is the chance, in my opinion, to get back in, right? And as always, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Don't buy based on my opinion. But for me, it's getting crushed right now. RSI is super oversold. We're seeing a bit of a bullish divergence as well here. For me, it's time to get back in, at least scale back in. I didn't go all in, guys. I didn't throw in my whole account into DraftKings, but I did buy about 15-20% of my goal position. So I'm going to be buying more of that probably this week. We'll see how it plays out. Aurora is another one, ACB. They were supposed to report earnings last week, and you guys can even see here on ThinkOrSwim, if you hover over this little bell, they were supposed to report on the 21st, but they never did. And I looked on my phone. They're reporting for this week. I forget what day it was. I think Tuesday or Wednesday. So watch out for them. They are a MJ company, right? The stock's been slammed, as many MJ companies have been the past couple of months. What else is new? I mean, these are very volatile stocks. So I want to see if this starts breaking out of the downtrend. So I'm going to put an alert at $7 per share. And you guys might be saying, "Stock, $7. It's only at $5 right now, $6. trust me, these can move very quickly. It could easily break above $7 when they report earnings. That is how much they can move. 20-30% is really peanuts to stocks like these that could double in a couple of days. I mean, we've seen it happen before. And another one, last one for today, guys, is BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, another speculative stock, very similar. Well, it's not similar to ACB. It's not an MJ stock, but it's in that same realm, right? There's a lot of speculation. Wall Street Bets gets behind these stocks, high short interest. Anything could happen. There's a lot of volatility. I put BBBY in that camp, right? And they report earnings here on the 30th, on Thursday. And you guys can see this one got very hot back in May. It went from $25 to about $50, so it doubled up very quickly. And then had other little runs between now and May, the past couple of months. But for the most part, it's been downtrending. It's been cooling off. And a lot of the Wall Street Bet stocks have been cooling off, at least the mainstream ones that I was looking at. I'm sure there's been little ones that have been popping off, but, Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry, all those ones, even AMC and GME, they've been cooling off a bit the past couple of weeks. And this one, BBBY, the past couple of months, right? So I'm going to put my alert at 25, see what it does right around there. Probably won't hit tomorrow, maybe even this week, but eventually if we start breaking over 25, 27, this could be back into play in my personal opinion. So we're going to wrap up the video here, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, as always, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and let me know if you guys stuck till the end. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know that you stuck till the end, and check out my Patreon. If you guys want my real-time buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, plus more, all of that's on Patreon, link down below. You guys could also get $30 from M1 Finance with a $100 deposit, and 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600, also with a $100 deposit. So if you guys want some free money, that's also linked down below. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Again, as always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out.